on this map, you just replace Fade and, or sorry, Astra and her Gravity Well with Fade and her C's, her Tether. I know that sounds silly, but her Tether is so much better than even a Grav Well was. So when you combo that with what's going to be Baby Bay's nades here, that is something you have to deal with as OpTic and get through. Number two is specifically against this Neon comp, and I've got 3 points here. Specifically against this Neon comp, the wall that they use, the fast lane, is something that no team has really been able to actually stop. And I think FaZe, with her haunt, could actually do something in counter to that, right? Get some wall hacks onto that and stop their approach and make it so that they have to be scared of that idea entirely.
They're not scared. No fear there. Mind you, Fade was not on that side of the map. Victor starting things off with the fast pace, the pace that we've come to know and love out of OpTic on Fracture in particular. They've taken B site, full control, and FaZe are left with 3.
They're coming through arcade. Baby Bay with a great entry. 2 players that he has to deal with on stairs, and he won't be able to do that.
Place falls already, leaving Dicey alone. He's got a couple of shots. Yep, in that Headhunter. He's got a weak players, but the Headhunter on the other side was just a bit too much for him to deal with. OpTic take the pistol.
And a good one at that, too. Fast up. In the situation that was happening, handled that perfectly. Again, just the flashes over top of that arcade wall this time from Victor being from Crashes being thrown, and Victor following it up super fast. Definitely feels like a big shift in pace that OpTic is adding to their playbook at this point. Yes, they're able to mix it up in various different points, but always is it eventually getting controlled, eventually it's slowing down. But right now it feels like Victor is going every single round that he has the opportunity. He's going as far as possible.
And this caused fits to different teams at Reykjavik, and mind you, it's early, but FaZe seemed a bit overwhelmed and caught off guard in the initial round. You talk about them changing pace. They throw the brakes on this one.
Yeah, this round too, though, they brought poised over. And Superman and Baby Bay here rotated off the site. They're going to actually retake fast through arcade, but OpTic didn't even commit. And they have so much room to re-execute because of all the utility they have, but Dicey's insane. Get stupid, they're not expecting the last here either.
No. Now Poach's position's been given away. The flash to try to keep him at bay. It's not going to happen as he swings around, cleans him up. Numbers advantage in favor of FaZe. The spike's still in tow for OpTic. They have some control. You've got some time. Looking for any shred of information that you can get. There's something.
Spike planted.
They maintain control actually of Halls.
Oh, he's got to go big here. That's only good for 1. Maybe Bay and Poise are both weak, though.
They can't split up. Gotta stay tucked together. And they're going through Halls. It's kind of planted for Crashes here. He does not have a fragment to delay this. Has to take the fight, and they're both weak.
Does he swing? Does he win? Oh, he waits. Now the flash, now the swing, now the shots. The Red Bull clutch for Crashes as he gets 3.
But that was a round they shouldn't have had to do that at all. Crashes should not have been put in that position.
Yep.
That situation, they've got the right rotate out of FaZe at the beginning of the round. And then they fake B, and they're not really in a position to do anything with Finesse, who's trying to hold on to the A push and hold that space so that they can fast push back through. I mean, OpTic was great in their anti-ecos until they switched to the attack side on Ascent, where they lost that Thrifty that I was completely scratching my head at. And this round, not scratching my head as hard, but still not exactly normal. That's another thing right there that I think the desk was a little overlooking. Those haunts get in such different positions than Sova and his darts.
Poise has 3 players on the other side of this wall. He's been CC'd up to high heaven, can't see a dang thing, but somehow Superman gets 2 massive ones. Now OpTic push forward as Victor's gotten 2. This round is far from over. 2v2's what remains.
Spike planted.
Oh.
1 enemy remaining.
Crashes pushed through Canteen.
Again, Crashy's in a clutch situation. Dicey and Superman on the other side. 2 armor. He's got a knife. He sees a shoulder, and it's not going to matter as Dicey cleans it up. And FaZe are going to get the defuse.
There, it looked like Victor wanted to stick with Crashes. They lost a lot of the early picks there as they actually made their way out of tower. But Victor with 2 as he makes his way out onto site. The problem is the spike not being planted very, very fast. They don't have the time to actually make that play. And they don't have the information because Ye died early on whether there's going to be a push out in a flank from tree. That's eventually where Dicey comes from. Superman has his ult, but Crashes does too. I'd be curious if they're going to pop this fast.
There's another ult we didn't talk about. It's Victor's. Fast lane to try to provide some cover, and they've gotten the space that they wanted. They've gotten onto the site. This is going to be a bloodbath to fight back for. You hear the orbital strike come through as it's going to clear things out and catch Crashes on the way. Now they've got the flank on him. Man, OpTic are in a world of hurt here. They've got to be careful about how they navigate this situation. FaZe quietly but surely creeping their way forward. The Prowler to clear out halls.
They're stuck.
Yeah, there's really no way out. They had to commit to it. Mind you, Finesse and Ye only have pistols. The only rifle that they had on their side is now fallen. And with that, will fall the rest of OpTic. As FaZe are going to tie us up at 2 apiece. Just not much really for OpTic to punch back with here.
Yeah, no, just the pistols there. They try to up the pace up through halls. They get the site, but again, not actually able to react. I can't believe that actually Superman's orbital strike got a kill there. And it was onto Crashes nonetheless, who had potentially the key to win that round. What it came down to, if they held on to control, if they held up his no command, they have the ability to play off site. Things get different there, but either way, OpTic now with guns, Ye with the op. He's going to challenge in halls.
There's that haunt again. It looked like it got cleared out instantly. No tags.
Look, though, they're still pushing. Marved actually stays all the way back specifically to break that haunt. And while FaZe did explore a little bit further than you might have expected because there was presence there, they're not actually rotating.
Rolling Thunder. There's not going to be anyone there. The no command 2. They've given up the space. FaZe is almost perfectly drawn a semicircle around everything being thrown their way so that they can re-aggress on their terms.
Is there a flash?
But look at OpTic. They're pushing forward. Ye's already gotten one.
The stun!
Marved. There he is. Oh, and Superman cleans him up.
That was Victor's relay bolt who stunned him.
And no, Poach has his Rolling Thunder, so he can counter that right back. Ye's in trouble, but no, the flash gets him right out of it. 3v2 in favor of OpTic. Poach and Baby Bay, the only 2 that remain. Spike ticking away. Taking their post plant. They managed to push Victor out, but that's not the only problem here that you have to deal with. Ye's gotten 3 with the up. Oh, and Finesse gets that last one to clean things up. I thought Ye was going to land that shot, man. I really did.
Doesn't matter either way. Finesse is there perfectly to trade. The teleport out from Ye too. They keep the op.
They found my trap.
What a hectic round. I thought for sure after Marv lost his life trying to push into Dish that they were going to lose a lot of control, but look, still on the minimap there, you saw Crashes was really far advanced in sand, and Finesse had Hall's control. So they were just fine. They didn't actually need that space, but that could have easily closed out the round. So usually when we see this knife out from them onto Dish, and they hold actually the bottom side of the map, the south side, they're just getting ult orbs, setting up a little pressure over towards A, but then they almost always fall back into this B tower push. See if that's the same case here.
It's like you've read the script. You called it. They pushed up. They got orb control, and now it seems like they're going to rotate right back.
This is always a difficult hit to deal with. But they're starting it from so far back.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the space. And Ye gets taken out. He didn't explore underpass at all. He didn't help them make this approach onto Arcade. But they still have to deal with the onslaught of ults. Or sorry, not ults. Flashes that comes through as Victor hard pushes tower.
And much like in the previous round, look at FaZe's positioning right now. They're already okay with giving up the space and fighting for a retake to have the numbers advantage. Work things out, and Baby Bay 1 point. from the ult. That showstopper could be a factor here late in this round, and there it is. He's got it online. Now the question is he going to pull the trigger? Drops it right into his lap, but it doesn't hit Crashies. It whizzes right by his ear. The flash just swing out. He lands the shots anyway. Flashed up. Oh, Finesse is in a 1v4, and it's going to take more than just that to pull this one off. FaZe tie us up at 3. Balla, it seems like once they realize that OpTic is going to be able to fight for control of site, they just give it up. They're so confident in their retakes.
Yeah, and also, again, inexplicably, OpTic is hard pushing. Victor pushing up into Gen there. And they don't even take the site where, I don't remember who it was trying, I think it was Crash is trying to plant in that situation, just has no space. He's getting ulted at the same time. Like, it's very difficult when you don't actually maintain the space and get actually any site control from it. Power wasn't even cleared in that situation either. So let's see, another haunt thrown out early here, but this time it's on the arcade side.
Let's play.
You do want to push with Baby Bay. And the value that you get when it's not broken is immense. Baby Bay is going to get into underpass against this eco round from OpTic. Plus tour de force from Ye. Look at the time. Look when they start rotating. Baby Bay still hasn't cleared the corner. Has not peaked. So they're still set up in their default positions.
Worth noting, too, that Poised has the Nightfall. Be the first we'd see in North America. Let's see how he chooses to use that as the round, again, has gone silent. The fast lane comes through now. Dicey just gets decapitated as soon as he swings around. And look at Superman going hunting. Pushes into the smoke. That's one, but that's all it's going to be good for. Now the side in control of FaZe. And if we were going to see the Nightfall, this is where it would be.
Yeah, he's falling back to his teleport as well. He's anchored.
That's 3.
That essentially takes all the punch out of this retake attempt, surely, right? Nope, they're going for it anyway. There's a Nightfall. Prowler to follow up, and the orbital strike is going to cook him, but they have to swing out right through, right into Victor's lap. Poach has already fallen, Poison alone in this 1v3. Both Victor and Marv weak. Ye is as well. I mean, none of them are healthy, but they're so spread out. Yeah, no way. A thrifty round win for OpTic to take the lead back.
Yeah, triple crossfire there as the peak comes through. I like the idea, actually, though, from Poise to ult, Ye, get a trail on him, and to send a Prowler that pushes off the op so that they can get past, but then the orbital strike responds. There's no real way past that. They really did not put any sort of presence, actually, to deny the Halls control and the sand control that OpTic came out with. And when there's a tour de force on the other side, you have to deal with that. Dicey falling early cost them all of sight.
They've thrown a lot at tower here, and there's nobody home. But Victor's going to gladly take the space, push his way forward. And, well, they've gotten this far. What do they want to do with it?
Poise is really exposed if they come up actually through tree.
Marv just weak with the operator. But Poise already falls. You mentioned how weak he was. Finesse has that rolling thunder too. You see him on the top half of the minimap waiting for see if anyone's going to flank around. Ye's already fallen.
Such a strong rolling thunder to use from this side. And Ye falling again gives Dicey that opportunity, but this rolling thunder is not going to let anybody through. Even though this kill goes through, they still have to deal with that.
And there's a rolling thunder. It's going to push him back. Hits all three. Dicey, the only one who goes through unscathed.
Crashy still has a fragment too to delay the spike defuse.
Finesse trying to cut off rotation, trying to cut off crosses. He's not able to get anything as FaZe waltz their way in, take everything they want, and get the defuse.
And I mentioned on Ascent how good OpTic was at actually releasing their trap. There, they spring it way too early. Sure, they get a couple members of FaZe as they poke, but they're not able to get punished. That's the important part. The other thing, too, is I spoke about how Dicey's kill might not have been that impactful on Marved, but in this case, I think it ended up being really impactful because they're so scared of peeking from tower given Dicey's position. And both Victor and Crashes were playing there. If he wasn't there, maybe they get a couple kills from it. Instead, it's just delay, and Not nearly enough time. Here's a big push, potentially from Baby Bay.
He's got the satchels. The nades through right into his lap. Victor, but Baby Bay not able to get much. The orbital strike is. As Poach does 2. They're just mowing over OpTic here.
Wow, this map looked fantastic for OpTic. At Reykjavik. Seems like a little bit of study right now, doing a great job. Baby Bay. Those satchels weren't pretty.
No.
But the rest of the idea from the hit was, they know OpTic has been pushing the pace on that side with a knife, with a flash for Victor to actually dip past.
One enemy remaining.
And so they ulted as well, and they completely shut down that early play.
Not your best.
It was an interesting buy into this round for OpTic to begin with. I think they had a Spectre, an Operator, the one that you see on your screen right now, and then 3 pistols. Really just kind of highlighting the dependence that they have on Ye doing things with this gun. But now he's in a position where he's going to have to freaking Defense of the Alamo
30
type thing
seconds left.
to keep this thing into the next round.
Yeah, too bad he's on attack, not defense. He's in defensive spawn, so you got that right. Yeah, I mean, he's just going for a walk, trying to find a kill and save the weapon.
10 seconds left.
And this is going to be the first lead that FaZe has taken in this series. 5-4.
How does he keep this thing as long as he does in a 1v4?
There's
I mean,
just
they
a
weren't
lot of
necessarily
space.
hunting, mind you,
Yeah.
but yeah.
There's a lot of space. The economic situation, actually, that they were just going for. FaZe was every single round, basically. You rarely saw them really try to hold on to their guns because they had both chamber and jet. This time, they only have the chamber, so those ults don't come into play. The crazy part so far about this map, Doug, and we talked a little bit about it on Ascent, was how FaZe was going blow for blow in terms of first kills with OpTic in that 9-3 half. But this time, OpTic is winning the first kills. It's the opposite situation, right? FaZe is the lead while OpTic has gone 6-3 in first kills so far.
Most of those have to be Ye, I would assume.
Yeah, you would, but the pace that they're playing with kind of leaves Ye on an island in a
Yeah,
lot
that's
of
true.
cases.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at the score, though. You have to assume. And the Marv show has kind of refunded the tickets a little bit here.
Yeah, it feels like an intermission. Yeah. Just not the same like playmaking ability that you get on Omen.
No, not at all. He's a little bit more of a support in the more traditional sense. And also, you can see that every default that they play, he's actually always by himself on the south side of the map or the north side of the map.
Gotta go.
This is a slightly different look here. They tested the waters towards Dish, got the ult orb into Victor's hands, and now looks like they want to turn their attention back towards the southern half of the map.
The really crazy part, too, is that every time they've actually pushed towards halls, they've gotten through halls, except the pistol round.
Yeah.
And that's because FaZe is not even playing the C's from the Fade on this side of the map. They're not playing the combo of Baby Bay and Fade.
Flash.
Careful here. They are leaning towards A, but they do have 3 players on the side of FaZe to try to hold this thing back. Well, make it 2. As Baby Bay's already fallen, Ye pushing his way forward, waiting to see if anyone's going to challenge him in halls, and there are a couple of players going. Crashy's pushing the matter forward, and Victor does too. They both fall. As Poised up top, trades one back. See that honk come through, the fault line to follow.
One enemy
Not very many
remaining.
ways for FaZe to get into this thing. They're outnumbered, they're outgunned, and it's just gone from bad to worse. As Dicey is the only one that remains. He's got that operator in his hands, but time is not on his side either.
He's just getting an exit at this point.
Yeah.
As he chose, actually, he pushed tree. So he was on the south side of the map. While Poise was fighting inside of halls, he took the rope, right? So that's why he's here. But he left his team out to dry, and unfortunately, even if he entered that while Poise was still alive, the time that he took to get here was way too much. And that, in my opinion, is a mistake. He could have been challenging Ye through halls. Poised had the control there. Sure, he tripped the trademark, so they knew he was coming, but still.
5-5 here, much closer contest than how we opened up the first map. And again, while FaZe made a run at things at the end, this time they're punching back much further, or much earlier, I think, than anyone really anticipated.
I like this.
Go, go, go.
A knife all the way to the back of halls. That looks like it's being thrown from way earlier, but it's the classic B execute here with flashes through the wall.
Vintage OpTic, but the nightfall is intended there to counter, and they didn't really account for what was happening underground as Baby Bay gets one. Really, it's across the entire team as FaZe is getting exactly what they're looking for. Flash is going to push.
They're in sight, though.
He's back.
And Crash isn't letting them. Finesse does not know. He's dead. Good read, too, for Poach to follow that up.
Yeah, that was surgical.
I mean, they cleared all of sight, so where else
Last
could
round
he
before
have
the
been?
switch.
They know that Crashes is always part of that execute. He's always flashing for Victor to get through there, but once again, FaZe just fall back a little bit and kind of expect exactly the point where OpTic is either going to stop or bring that execute too, so well done from them as we head into the last round of the half. And FaZe is in control. Truly in control. On Ascent, sure, they were winning rounds, but we were still saying that OpTic was in control. This time, for sure. They know what's going on, and they're going for that push on tree again.
And it looks like they're set up to get to a 7 if there are only 2 pistols for OpTic. Rifles. And you have that Tour de Force in his hand, so Crash used the one guy who's going to have to make it happen with the Sheriff.
They're using the rope a lot.
FaZe are in a really good spot here. They have the Rolling Thunder and the Showstopper. And you can see the pressure, but Finesse is there for the setup. That's automatically going to draw out the Showstopper. No follow-up. Does he go? Yeah, he does. The Satchel! No way Victor survives that. Marv gets 2 massive kills.
It's falling apart. Victor still has his fast lane to get through if he wants. But the orbital strike pushes the back. Poach is going for it!
Rolling Thunder gets poached 2 easy kills before he falls. I seen Superman, the 2 that remain. There's another Rolling Thunder as that's going to try to pave the way, but I don't believe that it hits Superman. And there he is, right in the back of the head. Now they know where he is. He gets a second, looking for the third. No, it's Dicey who gets it in the end. FaZe get to 7-5 to kick off Fracture. We'll be right back.
Switching sides.
A 7-5 affair here as we turn our attention to the second half of the second map of this best of 3 FaZe. Now on the attacking side, we're going to get to see exactly what this Fade can do when they're the ones trying to dictate the pace.
Yeah, 100% we will. And I think there actually is a lot of, what's the term, geography, I guess? Structural stuff on this map that you could throw the haunt on top of. For example, on the backside of A. Really do some damage there with that haunt. But they're taking a much standard approach, as we would expect. One thing is, sure, OpTic lost that attack side, but they are formidable still on their defensive side. At Reykjavik, they were 64% rounds win. That converts to about 7.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So if they could pull that off, that's exactly what they need, and that was against some very stiff competition internationally.
Try and look and see what FaZe is playing here. Finesse just got his fault line back up after using it at the opener of the round. Now he's in a position where he can use it again. That's exactly what he does. Start to delay some of that push. But of course, it wouldn't be FaZe if they don't push into it anyway.
Oh, that relay bolt just got 2 stuns off.
But Finesse goes unchecked.
Spike down A.
He's only able to take 1 as the kills erupt on the site. And they haven't made their way in, Balla. They've held back
30 seconds left.
FaZe's initial push. Uh-oh. They're gonna try to go through the middle of the map, and they take care of Crashies. What more can Baby Bay find?
20 seconds there. They can't cross.
No.
Oh!
Spike
It's
down
Dicey left
A.
alone in this 1v2. Victor's weak. But yay, cleans things up at the end. OpTic got the pistol back.
I don't think Dicey at the end expected them to continue to push the pace with 10 seconds left and the spike down either. So he heard the rope from Yang and he's like, hold on, is this really happening? I just have to hold this angle. But he didn't realize Victor's also coming in, who was in sight at the beginning. So right before this, Victor throws a relay bolt that lands in that corner where Finesse is watching, and also slightly more to the left too, because of the angle of that wall. And he completely shuts down that push through the smoke. They almost had the timing on Finesse, but then he gets in a great position. Here's a haunt on the left side of Dish. It should spot them. Yes, a trail, but not onto Victor.
A little bit of action right off the bat towards Dish. And you see on the mini-map, as OpTic are starting to flank around. So if Ye can't hold things, as he seems to have done just fine, for now, you've got two people flanking through. Thing is, there's only one player left on Dish. It's unfortunately the important player, the one with the spike.
Down A.
Now, Dicey, while alive, is on the opposite side of the map in this 1v3 without the spike, looking to see if he spots anyone. No, he didn't see Finesse there. 7-7 is OpTic tie us back up.
Yo, that was disgusting from Ye. We're going to see it again for sure. That was so nasty. The two taps as he's getting pushed by the fade while he's trailed. Wow.
Jeez.
And the Finesse also aftershocked. So after these kills, Poise is so close to going down to that. You saw just a sliver, and he was going down too.
Op for Ye. Spectres the rest of the way, with the exception of Crashies. And again, we're seeing some of this push towards Dish.
Interesting. FaZe is using two of their informational gathering abilities, the Boombot and the Haunt on the left side of Dish while they clear and fight the right side. Prowler spots nothing either in this corridor, so they can peek and have and maintain control of that. But Ye's playing so far back anyways. The nice thing about it is they've used both of the Prowlers. You didn't have enough money for another one.
I'm out of here.
I was going to say, you do get a lot of that type of drone ability when you play the Fade. One of her benefits too.
It feels like you're still trying to convince me, and I'm not sold. They were going to push their way into Arcade. You see FaZe all over the place. A heavy 5-stack that way. Victor with the nade in his face has to reposition. They've lost tower. Oh, but Crashies takes it back. He's still holding it down in the middle of the map. Marvin is there too. Spike down. And it's in Crashies' lap. There's really no way for FaZe to easily get that thing back.
Especially now that Crashies is pushed through that smoke.
Yeah.
Took a big risk, but a massive payoff. 20 seconds left. Almost impossible to recover when Crashies in that position.
Last player standing.
Nice kill to take care of the op. But you presume they're going to be able to pick it back up and carry it into the next round. OpTic take the lead back from, I believe, they haven't had the lead in a little while here, Bala.
Need to drop.
Yeah, since the first half. 7-5.
One enemy
Remaining.
FaZe took it back at 5-4, so yeah, 100% right. But it's defensive side, they've won the bonus now. And that is massive. Forces FaZe back to a save. If he still has the ult. So we'll see if they do anything with it. But look at how he's actually going to satchel twice with the stim. But finds nothing.
Oh, and
He
that's
does
what
get
Breach is
through
so
it,
good
though.
here. Yeah. Let's get through it, but it delays some of that right off the bat.
Let's play.
Yeah, realistically, you want to get into somebody's face and potentially find a kill and pick up a gun.
Prowler. That's dropped. I mean, FaZe have done well to get up as far as they have on halls, but that's really as far as they've advanced. An OpTic patient. You see Crashies not rotating over. Yay,
He's
being
on the front side of that.
careful. No way. All right, there's a showstopper. It cleans up Victor. That's going to draw the rotations over for sure. Dicey finds a second one to crack the side open. And FaZe have set the side ablaze through their utility, through the kills that they're looking for to find the openers to get the space that they need, but Ye has arrived. much more can he find? The 2v3. They only have pistols. Dicey's the difference maker. He's already gotten 3, but Crashy's...
Oh, no, the turn force is gone!
Stops it, no freaking way! Crashy's does that! Bloody brilliant!
This guy has been clutched this map. That's his second Red Bull clutch. And it's a 1 versus 3 this time. Look at this. Immediately pops it. Dicey's still switching to his classic as Crashy starts to swing.
What a play. Oh, what a play. Again, it was a nothing buyout from FaZe though, so you look at that and you go, should you have been in that spot in the first place? And you gotta account for Dicey. He's been on a tear, but they still find themselves down 2 rounds here in the second map.
Again, taking that fast Hall's control, but look, OpTic has made a read. No fault line here this time. Instead, Finesse is over towards B in that tower. They've got a strong hold against what looks like FaZe, tilting their way towards the A site.
Yeah, I was going to say Finesse should have his fault line back up shortly, and it just popped back up. Now he's sitting on it. A couple of shoulders are spotted by Crashies. There it is, the haunt. Through Victor in a world of hurt. Finesse, he hasn't given up. Tower's control yet. He's already gotten 2. The Rolling Thunder, but oh, does he realize there are people behind him? He did, but it didn't matter. Marv now with a Prowler in his face. He's able to clear that out. Poison Superman. 1, 2, they both fall. And the third, it was Crashies who did it at the end, but OpTic get to 10.
And that's 5 rounds in a row now for OpTic. Talk about regaining control, regaining momentum. Marv there too. Opening back up the curtains. He smoked off tree, and I think that's where Dicey was. He completely ignores the possibility of him pushing through the smoke. Full trust in Crashes in that instance to be holding that for him so that he could full fight tower and continue to take the fight where normally you see teams really giving that up and letting them take space after. Finesse swaps back over, but look at the push. They're pushing into underpass. Continuing to maintain control. They might get caught though.
Face your fear.
Stimmy to push him, the Nightfall, excuse me.
Misses.
Flashes, they have everything layered that way. And Crashies gladly welcomes it, pushes through the nade, pushes through the mollies to try to get the kill, not able to get anything, but a second flash and the orbital strike right in their lap as Marv cooks them up. Poison Baby Bay both fall. Oh, and OpTic, they just look like they're trying to get out of this thing as fast as possible. Prime Gaming Flawless comes through, and that, Paula, that was a work of art.
You said it, they cooked him up. They put him on the farm. A bunch of pigs running around getting corralled. This moment right here. Yeah. That's bacon.
One enemy remaining. Spike down B. Flawless.
And it leads to a FaZe timeout.
Yeah, I'd call it timeout after that, too. I mean, you've lost 6 rounds in a row, and that was easily the most decisive one. Economy for OpTic has to be sitting pretty here.
And it looked like there was a moment there, too, where they completely had the round, right? They wrapped it up because I think it was, who was it? Marv and Crashies were pushing into arcade. And they were almost deciding to push back through and get back onto Jen and onto potentially site as well, but realizing the smoke's coming out, that they're hitting through tree and stairs. So FaZe has got to be kicking themselves. They're saying, oh, we almost had those 2 kills.
Yeah.
But then also for Crashies to double flash through a molly, man. Through a molly.
He's a lunatic. How else do you explain that? Yeah.
A lot of people would have looked at that too and said, oh, he didn't get any kills. That's not worth it all. But he pushed them into that ult. You have to remember.
Exactly. Yep.
So, back to same old for FaZe, trying to work halls.
They've got, look at that, man, that aftershock. That just delays everything. As soon as OpTic realize that there's the possibility of pressure through halls, Finesse just dumps utility there, and there's no way for FaZe to get in.
And past that as well, Superman's HP, he's down to so low. 30 HP, got hit twice. It's a good
Got
pick.
his, yeah.
Big ult too from Poach. Up, that's a good. He's got the rolling thunder. They're back over towards B. Ace left alone. He's gonna fight though. Also low HP now.
This is a really important round for FaZe after the timeout with the light armor on a couple of them. They've got to make this one convert. You see the orbital strike comes through. Yay with the operator up top, drops down after taking a head off. It's all down to the 3 that remain for FaZe. Victor with his ult. Nothing doing, but it gets traded right back. Baby Bay and Poise, the 2 that remain. Yay, 10 HP and up close. As he lands that shot, OpTic gets to 12. There may be a fade on the other side, but El Diablo's still the real nightmare here.
That TP up, by the way, moments away from not being able to hit that. He's running from underpass after having that engagement, getting down to 10 HP, running up to tower. The ult's coming in, and what he does is running to tower so he can TP. He TPs into a completely open position. But they expect he's on the other side of the map. They don't think that he has any anchors safe. And he gets the op shot from it too and drops down with 10 HP. That's, yeah, that absolutely a mare.
22 and 11. Just yay things at this point. FaZe backs against the ropes. They're down big as they try to extend this series.
Crash is alone.
But again, pushing into utility because why not? And it works again.
No way.
Surrounded everything. Thrown in his lap. Victor and Ye in this 2v3.
One enemy remaining.
Well, Ye in a 1v3. Now as FaZe get to 8, they live to fight another day.
Break the win streak here from OpTic. 7 in a row. No, actually 9 in a row because they got the last 2 of the first half as well. So stop the bleeding right now. We'll see if they've actually done the proper adjustments. That one looked a little bit like they just were out of ideas, right? Let's just go fast arcade. And if that's the case, then unfortunately it looks like it might be the end of the series as well. Big knife as well for Crash. He's going to land all the way back on the north side of the map. Really late. Oh my goodness, that goes to Dish. It spotted 3. It spotted all 3.
Oh, that's a big kill though. There are 2 rifles. Also, Baby Bay just got a showstopper. There are win conditions to this round. Yep, and that's one of them. Dicey. Turns out Crashies knows how to wield that thing. He's shabby himself. He's gonna have to get another one. Boys pushing up. He's not able to land the shot. The classic swing around. No, he falls. Now the operator goes into the hands of FaZe.
Spike planted.
Victor on the flank might be able to do this thing. It's a 2v3 in favor of OpTic. They're approaching this retake from different sides. The fast lane, the relay bolt, and now they push their way forward. Victor's not finding a way in. Finesse left alone in this 1v3. Molly's everything around him, and it looks like Finesse is just gonna have to save.
And that was back to the classic from FaZe. Back to what they really did do well in open qualifiers, right? Push on one side of the map with everybody except for Baby Bay and Dicey, where they work some other portion of the map. This time it's Dicey through tree finding 2 big kills. First Ye, and who was it? Crashies?
I believe so.
No, Crashies eventually traded it. It must have been Marved on the site. They bring it to within 3, so still some life in them. And look at the money from OpTic. They're very close to not being able to buy. Maybe even this round they might opt to save.
Well, not just the money that OpTic are in a tricky spot, but FaZe have a couple of key ultimates online. The Tour de Force, Baby Bay, Showstopper, and the other 3 are close. They're all within maybe 2 ult points, so you're starting to look at a situation, a very clear path where it may not necessarily be easy, but FaZe can force overtime here. They're not out of this.
No, not at all. And that's what Chet and the team discussing right now. And we've seen some defensive set plays come out of timeouts from OpTic on this map specifically. A lot of those north side pinches very possible. Paired with a early molly from Marv that lands anywhere. Crashies could also throw the same type of knife. Those types of things that we're seeing now could spring into a massive aggressive approach. And they might do it on a low buy. But we'll see. What is the money like? They are going to buy an op, so they're full investing. Only one player actually not having a full kit, which is Marv's.
What do FaZe call here? Flash to create some space as they want to pressure tower. Crashies has already been spotted. You see the trail left behind.
Look how far up Dicey is by himself. They're really scared of actually that north side pinch coming in. So Poach and Baby Bay were waiting way back at Dicey's spawn. A lot of space to scale.
Showstopper, Baby Bay goes
Canceled.
up. Yep. And he's getting spammed through the smoke. There's nothing for him to do there. It's Dicey and Poise both fall. 4v3 in favor of OpTic. Make that a 4v2. Poach and Baby Bay, what do you have in you? It's going to take heroics. It's going to take magic to make this thing happen. That's a good start.
One enemy remaining.
No ultimates to work with. Poach in this 1v3 to keep the series alive. Here's Victor up above him, and Crash, he spams behind at the end. The 3K, a 13-9 win for OpTic as they take care of FaZe 2-0.
A great series from OpTic.